Ryan Smith here, joined by Capitals head coach Luke Strand. And Coach, a lot of news both on the ice and with guys sort of looking into their futures a little bit this week. We'll start with the upcoming weekend, a second straight 3-3, all three of these coming on the road. We sort of talked about it on the coach's show earlier in the week. You start the weekend at Buccaneer Arena, one of the older venues and one of the more interesting venues, as you came to tell me, and it's the last team in the league that the Capitals have to square off with for the first time in the Buccaneers. What do you expect on Friday?
I think they're a talented group. They've had some winning ways for sure. They play well in their rink. It's a big advantage for them. It's a smaller rink. They play aggressive. I think they skate very well. And Dave Allison's a good coach. He's done it for a long time, different levels, and you can definitely see how they proceed throughout the game. That they're an attacking team. So. It's nice to be there. It's a great venue. It's a fun older building that's got a lot of history to it.
Now on Saturday and Sunday you get to go back to places where you have a lot more familiarity and a lot of success lately. You have picked up 3 out of a possible 4 points from the stable in Cedar Rapids, and that's where you'll be on Saturday as you take on the Rough Riders for the 5th of 6 meetings against them this season. Last Friday, an overtime, or actually a shootout defeat I should say, by your squad against Cedar Rapids. Ben Blacker in net for the Rough Riders, perhaps the only reason preventing your club from picking up a second point. And the mood after that game was a very positive one. What do you hope carries into this particular matchup this time around?
Well, I think they're a talented group as well. I mean, you've got Carly does a great job there, and their group plays strong. I thought Blacker was excellent the last time we played there. It's important for us, which we've had the advantage of doing, to play from the front. I think we have an opportunity to play maybe a different way and a different style when we do so. But that venue is, it's an exciting atmosphere for sure. And I know that rivalry between us is it's gaining some momentum for sure. The last crowd base they had there was great, and I'm sure we'll have a lot more of the same here coming up.
Should be a lot of fun on Saturday night. And then you wrap things up on Sunday for your second Sunday trip to the Edge Ice Arena to take on the Chicago Steel. The last time you were there, it was one of the highlights of the month. Charlie Gerard picked up the first hat trick in Caps history that evening. Darren Smith had another good performance in net to get your squad's first win over Chicago that night. As we talked about earlier in the week as well, Chicago did a lot of maneuvering at the trade deadline, picked up some new pieces, gave away some of their more promising pieces to try to build up for future squads. What do you expect to be different this time around with the new personnel group?
I think they got a good team. I thought Dan did a good job for himself there. Dudek's a good player to add to from Dubuque there, and Mason Berg's still there. You can't deny that. So. I think front to back they're as talented as they get in the league, and to play them a 3rd and 3 and in their building it was something we're familiar with, which is a good advantage, but at the same time plenty of work to do. And I think once we get through Friday we can assess Saturday, and Saturday then we can assess Sunday. So this time of year it's fun to get in the rhythm of playing games, and I know the guys would rather be playing than practicing by this time, so it's always good to get after it.
7 o'clock starts on Friday and Saturday, and 3:30 on Sunday. All those games can be heard on 106.7 FM, 1670 AM, The Zone in Madison. Shifting gears a little bit, Coach, 2 more of your players committing to NCAA schools for their future in college hockey, bringing your total on the active roster right now up to 15. Mitch Hults committing to the University of Minnesota. I believe I came across the statistic. He's just the 6th Wisconsin native to ever commit to play for the Gophers. What does that mean for Mitch, and what do you think it says about him, the player?
Well, he's got some big steps. I mean, the last one is Condon there from Wausau, who was an excellent player and captain for them, and turned into be a vital piece of what they did there. I think it's exciting for Mitch. He's a big body. He's played a big rink. He's got a great stick. I think his game, and him as a person's matured, but his game has definitely matured. And to go play in a big program side by side, he's going to have excellent teammates they're talented, and I'm sure he's going to find a role in a niche that is going to give them success, but at the same time, where Mitch's career could go, those are going to be attributes he's going to need to really, really be strong with down the road. So it's an exciting time. I mean, that's not every day a Wisconsin guy commits to the neighboring state, so good for him, though. It's exciting.
Certainly the case. And now you also have a squad that has both goaltenders committed to Division I schools, as Garrett Metcalf becomes the 3rd UMass Lowell Riverhawk commit on your team, joining Ryan Lowen and Guillaume Leclerc. How big of a step do you think that is for Garrett? Because I know we had talked about throughout the season he had been sort of mulling over his college future. How do you think it's going to help him out to now have that firmly in place?
Well, I think it's anytime they can get that off their plate, and whether it's Mitch or Garrett in this case, it lets them move forward as a player. It's a huge step in their life about what they want to do. his selection to go to UMass Lowell is a really good fit for him and what they have there. Former assistant of mine, Kevin Ellsworth, is their assistant coach who works with their goalies there, who's outstanding at what he does there. And their track record of where their goaltenders have gone and that direction is just, it's a bright future for Garrett that way. And now both these players, and more so Garrett, but there's a lot of work to be done between now and then. And those are steps, though, that they can put behind them and now go forward.
The now 15 commits on the Madison Capitals begin the 3-game weekend on Friday in Des Moines against the Buccaneers. Coach Strand, thanks once again for your time.
Thank you.